Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. When you hear the word Viking, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Horned helmets, brutal raids, and giant, bearded warriors. Right, well, today we're going to peel back the layers of that popular image and discover the real story of the Vikings. It's a tale far richer and more complex than just raiding and pillaging. So, grab your virtual axe, and let's set sail into the Viking Age. First off, let's clear up a common misconception. The term Viking wasn't originally a name for a people. In Old Norse, it referred to an activity, a pirate raid, or a seafaring expedition. The people we call Vikings were actually diverse groups from Scandinavia, modern-day Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. They weren't one unified nation, but rather a collection of chieftains, landowners, freemen, and their families. The period from the late 8th to the 11th century became known as the Viking Age precisely because of these famous expeditions. So, what enabled them to burst onto the world stage so dramatically? The answer lies in their incredible technology. The Vikings were master shipbuilders. Their iconic longships were engineering marvels of their time, long, narrow, and light, with a shallow draft. This design made them incredibly fast and versatile. They could navigate not only the stormy open seas of the North Atlantic, but also sail far upriver into the heart of continents, allowing them to strike with terrifying speed and surprise. Without the longship, there would be no Viking Age. The event that traditionally marks the beginning of the Viking Age was the raid on the monastery of Lindisfarne off the coast of England in 793 AD. Imagine being a peaceful monk, and suddenly, these sleek, dragon-headed ships appear on the horizon. The raiders were swift, ruthless, and they targeted monasteries because they were often poorly defended and filled with treasure. This attack sent a shockwave across Europe and cemented the Vikings' reputation as fearsome warriors. For the next 3 centuries, coastal communities from Ireland to Italy lived in fear of these northern sea wolves. But to see the Vikings as just mindless raiders is to miss half the story. They were also incredibly savvy traders and explorers. While one group might be raiding England, another might be peacefully trading goods in another part of the world. They established vast and sophisticated trade networks that stretched from Iceland in the west all the way to Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, and even further to Baghdad in the Middle East. They traded furs, amber, and walrus ivory for silks, spices, and silver. These routes were the economic highways of their time. Even more impressive, they weren't just visiting. The Vikings were colonizers. They didn't just raid and leave. They often stayed, settled, and built new lives. They established settlements in England, creating a region known as the Danelaw. They founded cities that still exist today, like Dublin in Ireland. They colonized Iceland, a land of fire and ice, and from there, a Viking named Eric the Red. An expedition to Greenland, and his son, Leif Erikson, went even further, landing in North America around the year 1000, nearly 500 years before Columbus. Their influence didn't stop there. In Eastern Europe, Swedish Vikings, known as the Russ, sailed down the great rivers of modern-day Russia and Ukraine. They established trade posts and eventually founded a state known as the Kievan Rus, with its capital in Kyiv. This powerful entity laid the political and cultural foundations for what would later become Russia and Ukraine. In France, after years of raids, the French king granted the Viking leader Rollo a territory that would become known as Normandy, the land of the Northmen. His descendants, the Normans, would later conquer England in 1066. So, the next time you think of the Vikings, remember the full picture. Yes, they were fierce warriors, but they were also brilliant shipbuilders, daring explorers, shrewd merchants, and pioneering settlers who reshaped the political and cultural map of the world. Their legacy isn't just one of violence, but of connection, innovation, and exploration that left an indelible mark on history. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next video.